Hey guys, so today I'm going to do a quick video with you about navigating Ambleside. So I've got my computer here. I'm using just a Chrome little laptop, and I will try to put screenshots up when I edit the video so that you guys can see everything. I don't know how to film my laptop like people do. Alright, so you're going to go to amblesideonline.org. It should pop up and you should see across the top, home, curriculum, by year, by subject, resources, Charlotte Mason, about us. I always search by year. That's just how I do things. So we are on year one. So when I was planning our year one, I clicked on the year one link. And this is what I did next. I printed everything out so that I could see it in front of me and I could read it. So I printed the Ambleside Online Year One book list and the Ambleside year one schedule. So then, since I knew I was doing Ambleside, I took the book list and a highlighter. I highlighted all the books. Then I went on the internet and I searched all the used bookstores and tried to find the best deal. I ended up using two bookstores where some were cheaper in bookstore number one and some were cheaper in bookstore number two. And I realized that Thrift Books is owned by Amazon, but those were the two that I used, and for some reason Amazon.com had some books more expensive where ThriftBooks.com had some cheaper. And I'm in the US, so Amazon is pretty global, but you may have other used bookstores locally you can look. You can also search anywhere for used books, Goodwill, but I got most of mine used. And you can also use your library and check these out. But since I knew I would be doing this again with my daughter, who is younger, I wanted to go ahead and own the books. So I purchased all the year one books. The total was, for all the books, around $250. And if I were to count in all the other stuff I had to buy, like some writing paper for Ruben with the big lines on it, and colored pencils and nature notebooks, I would say my total for year one was around $300. And that may seem like a lot of money, but I will say year two and year three used a lot of the same books. I just went through and bought all of our year two books because my husband got a little bonus at work, so I used my half of it to buy our year two books and also some clothes. But I would say my year two books and the year one books that we're going to be reusing, I spent about $80 to $85, and I got all the year two books on Amazon just because that was easier for me. And again, I don't have to buy any nature notebooks. I don't have to buy any colored pencils or any of the other various things that I needed because we already have them all. So I need to change my battery. All right, we're back. I changed my battery. Okay, so after I printed off the Ambleside Online Year One book list, and I kept this because I also needed to reference it. For example, I needed to reference it to find out what composer we are doing for the term because that is not listed on the year one schedule. So here is the schedule. You can kind of see it here for year one when I did it for my son. This is the term two, which is what we're currently on. So I keep this in my notebook. Here, let me show you. Here is my notebook, which I've shown you guys before. So I have tried other planners for homeschooling and I did not like any of them, so I got some simple just planning pages. Here's February from Etsy that somebody had made, and I put them like this. And then I have this nice thing here. This is week 16, which is the week that we're doing right now. And so this has a list of, here's a blank one so you guys can see, of everything that we're gonna do, on what days we're gonna do it on. And then so you can see Monday and Tuesday here. I can see Monday and Tuesday here. Turn the page, Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, Wednesday and Thursday. We school 4 days a week. That's just how we do it. You can do it however you want. And then I can see what I'm doing. So then I will take in, see it, reading narration. I will write in, let me back up. So before I start scheduling out my weeks based on this schedule that they have here, I sat down and planned a week of planning. where I looked up what does Charlotte Mason do for this subject, what does she do for that in the book. And some of them I did not get to. For example, in term 1 of year 1, we did not do any language and we did not do a timeline. I've added those in now that I've been able to research them and just get into the flow. We are doing Spanish and we are doing the timeline. For year 1, we did the timeline of my son's life this year. Starting in year 2, we will broaden the timeline out as far as it can go and start filling in all our composers and the people that we've researched and read about. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to put it yet, but we'll find a place for it, maybe under my maps. Might put it under my maps. I have also, and now it's term 2, I have not done a book of centuries. I still have to kind of research that and see what that is. It sounds more like a timeline, but in a book? I don't know. So I'm not doing a book of centuries, but I plan to maybe start that next year. I'm thinking that may be something they do in later terms and not in year 1. I don't know. This video is all over the place. I don't know if I'm helping anybody. So number 1, I printed everything off so I could look at it. Number 2, I scheduled a week where I could really get into depth and look through the books, do some like brainstorming, look through the curriculum, like really try to just get a broad overview and familiarize myself with it. And then on the weekend after that week, I sat down to start and kind of structure my day out, which is when I started using this printable that I have adjusted. I used a different one in term 1, which I made a video about, and it's linked. I will link this one too if you want it. So this one, instead of putting like history or anything, I just put reading narration, because then I could switch history to whatever day I wanted. And I have the morning time up here. So then usually on Saturday or Sunday, I will sit down, I will get out one of these fresh sheets, I will get out my Ambleside schedule, I will sit down, I will write at the top, week 17, that's what I'll do this weekend. And then I will work through writing down everything we're gonna do in week 17, just scheduling it out so it's all on this nice piece of paper that I can then cross out, because I love like crossing things out and like completing, like it feels completed to me. And I will add anything to this week that we missed from previous weeks and we haven't gotten to. And then we will wake up fresh on Monday morning and we will start our school day. Or we will not, because, you know, life. Sometimes life happens and Mama wakes up late or sleeps in and we're rushing to clean the house, or the house is a mess, and we start school later, and that's okay. So if you have any questions about how I use Ambleside or what I do, I will try to make a homeschool in the day with me video, but you will have to understand that if I pull this camera out and stick it in my child's face, that is not going to be an accurate representation of what our homeschool day is like. And every homeschool day is different. Sometimes I'll start with morning time and we'll go through our morning time. Sometimes I'll do 2 things in morning time, and then I'll be like, his attention span isn't great, we're gonna do violin right away because he has to do violin every day. And then I'm like, well, what's the other thing that he doesn't like to do? Or what's the thing that I don't like to do, because I also have subjects that I don't really like to teach and that I push to the back because they're not my favorites. So I try to get those subjects done first, and then we can get to the fun things. So whatever year you're in, print it all out, lay it all out, look at it, make some lists, and homeschool. You can do it. And I love the forums. I'm on the forums all the time, probably asking for too much help. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.